Hello, my name is Joshua Mugabi. I welcome you to Ecology Bingo. So without wasting any of our time, let's go directly to our quiz. The non-living features of an ecosystem, that is, the physical and chemical conditions that affect the community. They include temperature, light intensity, air speed, water current, humidity, pH, dissolved oxygen, salinity, nitrate, phosphate, and other plant nutrients. The answer is part A, biomass. Part B, atmosphere. Part C, aquatic factors. D, abiotic factors. The answer is D, abiotic factors. Very acidic rain with a pH of 4.5 or less. Sulfur dioxide dissolves in rainwater to form sulphurous acid or reacts with particles in the air to form sulphuric acid. Part A, abiotic factors. Part B, acid rains. Part C, ecosystem. Part D, fauna. The answer is B, acid rain. The conversion of nitric compounds, e.g. urea, and proteins as a result of excretion and death respectively into ammonia. A, denitrification. B, biodegradation. C, ammonification. D, deforestation. The answer is C, ammonification. Factors that influence the life of the organisms that live in ponds, rivers, and seas, e.g. depth of light penetration and currents and wave actions. A, fauna. B, ecology. C, biotic factors. D, aquatic factors. The answer is D, aquatic factors. The direction of which something, for example, a habitat, is facing, i.e. north, south, east, west, etc. A, ecology. B, aspect. C, energy flow. D, endotherm. The answer is B, aspect. The mixture of gases that surround the Earth. It is divided into zones, e.g., stratosphere, troposphere. A. Community. B. Atmosphere. C. Biosphere. D. Biodiversity. The answer is B. Atmosphere. The process of decomposition by living organisms, usually by bacteria. A. Ammonification. B. Commensalism. C. Conservation. D. Biodegradation. The answer is biodegradation. D. Variety of living organisms. This can be measured in terms of genetic species or ecosystem diversity. A. Biodiversity. B. Carnivores. C. Consumers. D. Detritus. The answer is A. Biodiversity. The protection, preservation, wise management of natural resources and environment. The benefits ensures that 1. Existing environments are maintained. 2. Endangered species are preserved for reproduction. The balance of nature is maintained. Population and its effect are reduced. Part A. Conservation. B. Biomass. C. Biological key. D. Carbon cycle. The answer is A. Conservation. Series of groups of questions used to identify one feature at a time of an unknown organism, which eventually leads to its identification. A. Diurnal. B. Biodiversity. C. Biological key. D. Carbon cycle. The answer is C. Biological key. Pollutants tend to concentrate as they are passed through a food chain. The organism at the end of the chain suffers the highest concentration. A. Biological magnification. B. Colonization. C. Diurnal. D. Eutrophication. The answer is A. biological magnification. The total quantity or weight of a species per unit area or volume at any level of food chain. This term is used when expressing population density and may be measured as either living mass or dry mass. A. Conservation. B. Biotic factors. C. Biomass. D. Abiotic factors. The answer is C. Biomass. The part of the earth inhabited by living organisms, including land, ocean, and atmosphere, in which life can exist. This is the global ecosystem. A. Biodiversity. B. Atmosphere. C. Biosphere. D. Community. The answer is C. Biosphere. These are the features of an ecosystem that affect other members of the community. They include plants for food and shelter, predators, prey, parasites and pathogens, decomposers, competitor, and pollinators. A. Colonization. B. Climatic factor. C. Biosphere. D. Biotic factors. The answer is D. Biotic factors. A method used to estimate the size of a population of a given species of animal in an area. 1. Catch, mark, count, and release animal on first visit. 2. Catch and count total number and number marked on second visit and release animals. 3. Use the following size of population formula. Use the following formula. Size of population equals to the first count times the total second count over the number or marked on the second count. A. Denitrification. B. Capture-recapture technique. C. Conservation. D. Competition. The answer is B. Capture-recapture technique. The way in which carbon circulates in nature between the air, plants, animals, etc. A. Biosphere. B. Carbon cycle. C. Biomass. D. Community. The answer is B. carbon cycle. An animal or plant that feeds exclusively or mainly on animal flesh. A meat eater, for example, fox, dog, ladybird, Venus fly, trap, etc. A. Froller. B. Endoparasite. C. Decomposers. D. Carnivores. The answer is D. Carnivore. Factors relating to long-term weather conditions that influence the life and distribution of the organism that live in a particular environment. For example, rainfall, humidity, temperature, light intensity, and day length. A. Climatic factors. B. Abiotic factors. C. Aquatic factors. D. Abiotic factors. The answer is A. Climatic factors. When plants or animals take over new ground or habitat, A. Eutrophication. B. Biodegradation. C. Colonization. D. Conservation. The answer is C. Colonization. A symbiotic relationship where one organism obtains benefits from another and leaves it completely unaffected, neither harmed nor helpless. E.g., bacterial population in the intestine of the human and other animals. A. Carnivore. B. Commensalism. C. Endoparasite. D. Decomposers. The answer is B. Commensalism. A group of interacting populations of different species living in the same area, i.e., plants and animals in a certain area, e.g., pond, where there is interdependence of various species on each other. A. Community. B. Biosphere. C. Ecosystem. D. Colonization. The answer is A. Community. The struggle, rivalry, fight between organisms to obtain a sufficient supply of resource of limited quantity, i.e., animals vie with each other for food, shelter, and space, and plants vie for space, light, water, and minerals. A. Commensalism. B. Deforestation. C. Competition. D. colonization? The answer is C. Competition. Hello friends, thank you very much for participating in Ecology Part 1. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I'm Joshua Mugabi. Bye bye for now.